Hello, hello. This is an energy update on April 9th, 2025. And what I'm observing is a lot of people feeling overwhelmed, majorly stressed, getting sick or are sick, feeling overwhelmed in all areas of life, whether it's relationships, whether it's their career, their job, where they live, financial, health. And so it's a really important time to be taking really good care of yourself. And I've been talking about this self-care for sensitives and to get healthy. And maybe now you can see why I was priming up until this time, right? Because when your body's healthy, your mind is healthy, you have a constitution that is more grounded and steady. And so, and if you haven't done it, it's all right, because everybody's in different places. But it is, maybe now you can see why it is important to take really good care of yourself. As highly sensitives, you are a lot more aware of the changes and shifts in energy, different things that are going on, than people who are not sensitive. You also need time to process this information or information that's coming in. And there's so much information. That's another thing that's causing overwhelm. And some of it's on purpose to keep you discombobulated, to keep you off your groundedness, to make you wobbly, so that you won't have a solid opinion about something. And it takes time to find out what's the truth, what is true and what is not that's going on right now. And there's so many different layers to what is happening now and has been happening for a long time. And this game of life, oh my goodness. And like I said, you're going to learn, you're at one layer and you're going to learn another layer and another layer and another layer and another layer. And it's just like, what? But right now, the energies are, let me say this. So the biggest thing you can do for yourself is to turn inwards. And that's not meaning isolate. That means look for answers inside of you. It's like we have to come back to what is ourself. I had a client I was working with the other day, and they, are feeling all the stuff that I just said, and a lot of things happening, feeling overwhelmed and emotional and upset and not knowing what to do, feeling, like a leaf in a hurricane, being required to, has a lot of pressure on them to produce right now. A lot of the corporate stuff, corporate energy, and that doesn't really have compassion for how many hours of sleep you need, or to what you need to feel good at what you're doing. They're just wanting you to produce. Not everybody's like that. Not every corporation's like that. I get it. I'm just sharing this one person, one client's dilemma. And he was all out here. All this coming at him, all of what's happening in the world, the challenges and things that are being put in front of them. And I'd recommend that you try this. I got him back into his body. Like, just come back and breathe. Like, come inside. Feel your heart. Feel your heart breathing. I think this is we're learning to manage our energy in a new light body. Our bodies are changing, and they're more light and less dense. And so these light bodies don't operate the same way that your old dense body did. And it gets more, you become more psychic. You, again, are reading all this information's coming in. It becomes overwhelming. And this overwhelmingness is not because you're sensitive. It's information that's been coming, but you've been resisting putting away, or you're in a different state of mind and energy, a different capacity that you can kind of either not pay attention to it, or you did something else. But right now you're a different person. Your energies are different. And it requires you to go inside and spend some time every day, and supposedly, most of your time coming from how is your internal soul and your internal guidance. What's it wanting? What's important to it? And so in this process of turning into this light body and all this energy coming in, that's why we're more attuned to higher frequencies of energy. We're becoming more awake to the different things that are going on around us, and the huge capacity of trying to understand all that is going on around us in our nations, in our countries, in our families, in the world, in the universe, right? We oh my gosh, I'm laughing. That all of the solar things that are happening, what's happening in the cosmos, what's happening with the planets, what's happening in humanity, where there is fear and anxiety and all of this happening, where there are destructions and different things that are going on, that if you're sensitive to that, you feel that energy. You feel the energy of the Mother Earth, of the planets. You start to be you communicate with the trees, with the animals, whatever animals that are good for, or angels, whatever, all of that. You're becoming more attuned to your availability to all of these, and how you are one with everything. Everything's energy, and so we're communicating energetically, electromagnetically, with the universes, with ETs, with Gaia, with the water, with the mountains, with the trees, with the animals, etc., and other human beings. And then we have, on top of that, these systems and structures that have been in place forever and that are playing games with each other, meaning governments and financial systems and war games, etc. We have all of these things that are playing out. And so and you're just trying to go to work and do what you came here to do, or raise your family, make enough money to pay your rent, or build something, be a CEO and create something beautiful in the world, and be creative, creating art and music and dance, or travel and meet people and shine your light, and it's like a chaotic mess right now. There isn't one thing that you can really feel stable on except for yourself. And I would say Gaia and nature. This is where we can find our stability. This is where we can come back to ourselves. So talking about my client, I had them come back into their body, to be in their body, to go into their heart, to breathe. That helped them. That got him here. And so he wasn't out here entangled with the mess that was going on, behind the scenes for him. The entangled with the what ifs and all of that that's happening out in the world. And then, because I'm thinking this is happening for a lot of you, we have to take care of our inner child, because most likely what's happening, all the stuff that's happening and changing, and even our light bodies, bringing up all of our shadow work, all of the places that are not light and shining light on them, but it's also bringing up where we're traumatized, and so that, of course, that's your inner child has been traumatized, and so they're wanting to protect you, or they're in a great amount of fear right now, or they're not feeling heard and seen and taken care of and loved, and they don't feel safe. A lot of you don't feel safe, and you're trying to help to make yourself feel safe. What do I have to do? And for a lot of you too, that might feel like you have to sacrifice yourself in order to feel safe, and you don't. So this is learning to trust and have faith in yourself and in your inner guidance, your soul work, and your connection to everything. Your connection to Gaia, to God, to source, to quantum field, to this intelligence that's out here is tremendous, and it will work with you. It works with you. You are connected to it. You can hear it. You can talk to it. You can ask questions. You can get answers. You can get guidance. It's supporting you, and that's through through you having an intention. So I'm not going to go back over all of that, but just wanting you to know, realize that is this energy is wanting to support you. It wants you to be successful. It wants you to ask for help. It wants you to listen to it, and they will guide you. So we got in the body. We worked with the inner child. Took care of all of the things the inner child needed to hear and see. And that really made a huge shift in this client. And then he connected with his higher self and did some work with the higher self. Now, all this time, inner child, being in the body, the presence, higher self is all you. All that work, ask questions, got answers from the higher self. Totally different person, different perspective than when we started. Was out of fear, didn't feel overwhelmed, felt empowered and in control of you are, as he is, you are in control of how you handle what's going on out here. The least entangled you can be out here and caring about what other people think or feel, or self-sacrificing, or people pleaser, or perfectionist. And the more you can go inside and get in touch and feel who you are, now you're grounded, and you feel safe, because you can literally feel the connection that you have to everything, and that you are getting and receiving answers. So if any of you need help doing inner child work, working with your higher self to be able to do this, I'm here for you. And feel your connection to everything. And so this energy right now is calling for you to not isolate, but for you to be your own sovereign person, for you not to choose to do things because other people say so, or believe things like, is that true for me? Is that really necessary, right? What's the cost and the benefit to this? Because there's so many things out there that, somebody's saying this is true, and this person's doing this and it's doing that. And like I said, there is no black and white. There is no black and white, and there's no you need to be this way and only that way. Every person is different. Every single person is different and has a different perspective. And even though they might be let's just use the Democratic and Republican parties, they're very much alike, and there's just little subtleties here and there, and there might just be one thing that one person is focused on that makes them be a part of that party. But there's so many different layers to all of this, and so that to state that you are this black and white, and that even the party, there's no way you can say it's black and white. And in fact, there's a lot of crossover with both parties. There's actually just one party in some respects, and at different levels, right? So there's stuff that's happening at the ground level, different things that are happening. There's lots of good people in there, and then there's bad people that are, well, I wouldn't say bad people. What do I want to say? There's corruption. There's corruption everywhere. And I think a lot of us, it's not just in our government, but I think that, that's a hard thing for us to get, is like, oh my gosh, I thought the world was this way, somehow when we're little kids, we're brought up and we think if we're a good girl or a good boy, and if we are perfect and we do things in this manner, then everything will turn out all right. And I had that rude awakening, like, oh my God, I was following all the rules. I was being this good girl. I was, a good mom. I was a good partner. I was a good citizen. I was, did everything by the rules, followed all that stuff. And, all that. And then it was like a rug got pulled out from underneath me, and it was like, oh, that's not true. Oh my gosh. And that's when one of my big awakenings was like looking at everything that I believed. And I would still recommend that everybody do that. People tend to clump together with their friends or families in beliefs, because there's certain people too that make it uncomfortable for you if you are not living in that box. And there's something wrong with you, right? They just, and a lot of us sensitives are free thinkers, independents, and we have knowings, inner knowing, so that we're like, we don't want to follow what everybody else in the box is doing, because it's like, no, we know that that's not right. We might not know, be able to explain that to somebody, but we just have those inner knowings that we came into on this planet with. Yeah, and so we're having to be like, okay, how it takes courage. It takes courage to live outside the boxes, to live outside of that black and white, to live in color, to be radiant, to think independently, to be courageous and stand up for the things that you want, or even just to be courageous enough to say that you're that was my dog hitting this, sorry. Um, to really stand for what's inside of you. And so most of humanity, not I'm going to say most, a large part of humanity has no idea who they are because they've been brought up by family who had expectations on them to show up a certain way, and people surrounding them. They had education that told them what to think and what to do and to follow authority. And there's just all these, look at what's wrong, not right. Do what I tell you, not what you want. Sit down and shut up. We know what we're doing. You don't. You're broken. Look at all the magazines and the things and how they sell you stuff like you're broken, you're unworthy, you're not enough, you're not making enough, you're not doing enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not skinny enough or fat enough or whatever. And then so there's a lot of things coming at us. And then we have, poisons in the air, poisons in the food, all these things that are programming that goes on in TV and movies and commercials, and there's all these subtle things that are being put upon us. Music that is forming the ways that we currently think and what we believe and what we feel. People are telling us what we should feel and not feel. And there's all this division, black, white, whatever, feminine, masculine, all these things that have been put in place, or little things that people get distracted and focus out here on these things, that if you're in here, they're naturally there. You love others because you love yourself. You know that you are a fractal of God and a part of this wonderful Gaia, and so is everybody else. So there is no division there. So there's no discrimination. There's no black and white. We're all blooming in our own time. We're all seeding in our own time. We're all expanding and soaring in our own time and creating. And we have times where we have to learn and grow, and it's painful. And this is a big growing spurt right now, a very big growing spurt where you're learning things you don't want to learn, you didn't want to know, but I'm reminding you you're here now because you're meant to be here to help create the new. Because by you working on yourself, by you going inside, finding out who you are truly, and making choices from that inside and following what your soul and your intuition and your higher self and source has for you, you are helping other people in humanity, that you're helping to increase that higher frequency of energy. Because you are energy, everything is energy, and there's different frequencies and there's different densities, and you are becoming more light and your higher frequencies, and so you're helping the people around you just by being in vicinity, not even having to do anything or say anything to help raise their energy. But when we go get entangled in all of this stuff, and I do that, and then I got to pull away. And in fact, my higher self told me, Marilyn, be the observer. Observe without having expectation. Just observe anything. You don't have to know what's true, and not, you know, that I don't have to be attached to that. Be yourself, do what you're being called to do right now, which part is painting, part is helping you guys, part is working in the garden, part is, you know, developing and deepening my close friendships with people, and community, bringing people together. And that's all been growing and evolving, and this naturally and organically. And then sometimes, like, there's a fight, or I feel like I have no freaking idea what the hell is happening, and then I just wait and I just go back. You know, I think that's one of the things with my artwork now, is like that is a grounding force for me, and I can create and put this energy out through that, which is feels really good to me, inspires me. But so many other things are changing, and I just want you to know that you're not alone, and it can feel very disruptive and chaotic, but if you can just, like, this too shall pass, or it is what it is. Like, a lot of us get in trouble because we're trying to argue with what's happening. Like, you know, Trump is doing this, or the Democrats are doing this, or the, you know, chemtrails and contrails in the sky are polluting the air. That's happening, and, you know, there's wars and people are dying, and you know, all these different topics of that are out there, right? You can, the ones that you feel deeply. I'm very, you know, health is really important to me, and I want our children and our grandchildren and the earth to be healthy. That is key, and I start with me being healthy. And I think, you know, I see how people treat themselves. That's how they treat their pets. That's how they treat the animals. That's how they you know, treat the earth, and etc. So if you have respect for who you are, and you're treating yourself in a way that is where you value this housing of your soul, and you value your mind, and you're not giving it away to distractions, to things that are depleting you. You're not using drugs and stuff to cope. You know, it's use nature to cope. I mean, sometimes you do, like, you know, there's been a couple days I take kava. I'll take a kava. If it's too much, I also have a natural stress reduction, or the, you know, the spray. I forget, the homeopathic spray. It'll come to me. Anyway, so there are things that I can take or do. The other thing is, I go and stand on the earth, or I go hug one of the trees, and or I go take a walk in nature, or I go down to the beach, or go on into the mountains, or just go garden. You know, stick my hands in the dirt. That brings me back to me. Now, I've been doing this a long time, so what I would say for you who haven't, you know, find something that will help you get into a routine. Like, you know, one of the things, when things really started getting crazy, I have this bracelet, this copper and silver and gold bracelet. I was, you know, lots of stuff. It was really hard for me to be on my body, and I put this on, and it really grounded me, and I haven't taken it off since. I just, like, that's something that I have to do. So I have all these little different tools, and you can go on other my other YouTubes, and look up grounding or clearing or daily routines, and I will fine tune those routines as I grow, as I change. You know, it's just like, I do that with my diet, different, you know, again, intuitively, I'm asking myself, and I'll feel something, like something's off, and so what do I need? So there's a bunch of different tools. and maybe I'll make up something. But anyway, there's videos, there's grounding things that help you. I have a daily energy thing that I did, a video that I did on that. Tapping's really good. And again, you can come and join me, work one-on-one, or we can create a group. Yeah, I'm here to help. So, and that's why I do these so you can just realize, like, you are a hero with superpowers. But we forget that because we get stuck out here and in the details, and we just feel like a little thing in a big world and all this stuff's happening to us. But you're very powerful. And so your thoughts, your feelings can shift food, you know, can turn poison to sweet. There's so many things that you can do to shift your life and shift your health. Take that back, get it back, because it's going to be really important moving even forward. So we want to learn how to calm our nervous system, how to stay grounded, how to stay in here and not get out here. You know, what do I need to do? What practices do I need to put together? Eating super good food. You want your mind. You need a good mind. Let go of, you know, the fast foods, let go of the seed oils, let go of all the processed foods. Stop drinking those almond milk, oat milk, and stuff like that. They're terrible for you. It's not the almond or the oat, it's how it's been processed and how it's been sprayed with pesticides. You know, it's ridiculous. Go on, do your research. I know one of the things that I'm going to say is a lot of you have been hypnotized, programmed to not do research, so that you can just say, oh, that's wrong, they're wrong, because you've been programmed to think that that's right. And again, so, or you're in, right, you're in this state of mind that that's right. But why are you not asking questions? Why do you think that's right? Where is that? To go look it up yourself, and don't just look at the top things, because understand there are people out there who have been programming you since you've been a little person in school to think a certain way, to believe certain things, to get us to this point. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's, you know, there's some people that want us to not be smart, or only smart when they can reap the benefits of our intelligence and our knowledge, so that it becomes something that they make money off of, like paying our taxes, or charging your, you know, taxing your business, etc. Yeah, there's, again, like I said, there's so many different levels of this, and there's no way we can know it all, but just start asking questions, start doing your own research, and go into depth. Look at things. I look at things from Canada, from Europe, from Australia, from here, East Coast, West Coast, in the middle. I look at it from a university, from a journalists, from you know, a variety of people. I've always done that. It's just like, take the above, really start, instead of being down here entangled in this energy right now, rise above it. Be like, you know, you're coming down and are on a you know, what, parachute jump, skydiving, you know, or 3,000 feet, and look at things from there. Like, you can see, oh, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of division. People want to win, and these people want to win, and these people want to win. Well, what do they do with technology, with knowledge, with programming, with money? They can buy TV, they can make shows that will make you think a certain way. If you watch it over, they'll make you make games so that you're programmed to not be upset when you see somebody murdered, or somebody being raped, or that you don't understand. There's a lot of stuff, and you might understand. Again, I don't want to, do not want to, I'm not talking down to you. There are a variety of different levels that all this information is coming in from, and fear and power and money is used to promote you to think and feel and be a certain way. And as a superhero with superpowers, I'm reminding you that you are that also. And a lot of us forgotten, or it feels super scary, or we feel alone. And I want to tell you, you're not alone. And you came here for this, so you might feel super shy and like meek and whatever, but you might be a freaking, warrior woman that's going after, what they're trying to do with the kids. You might be a lioness that's just like, you're not touching these children, or you're compassion is about saving the animals in some way, or making clean skies so that we're not being poisoned. We're not breathing in all these metals and different things that are causing health issues, and we're not being we get to make choices about our bodies, what we want to put in it, what we want to put on it. And so we have a say. As our governments are supposed to be working for us, they're not to be working on their own. They're supposed to be listening to us, saying we want safe products, we want safe food, we want, etc. We want to see the sun. What we value, we want to create, so let us do that in a healthy way, and working with each other, not dividing, not in competition, for all around the world, not just the US or Canada, all around the world, all of us. And yeah, there's always going to be the shadow of everything, so it's just a part of our lives. But I think it's important that we start to learn how that works, what's going on, so we can make different choices and say what it is that we want. This is what's happening in the world right now. This is the energy update, right? You becoming more you, letting go of the programming, becoming more awake to what is happening, pros and cons. There's a lot of wonderful things that are happening in the world, but the pros and cons. But we are in this state of flux about, and it's just not the United States. There are countries working together, people working together to try and create like a one world thing, that let's just say is not good for humanity on the whole. And but so if we can stay, if we become aware of that, and it's a few people, it's not a lot of people. But people need to start saying, no, you're not going to do that. No, we're not going there. No, we don't believe that. No, we need to have more information, right? Then it's like a lot of this is all coming up so we can have our say, and start saying there's nobody coming to save us. There's nobody coming that's just going to get it all right. There are different people playing different parts. And, there's, it's pretty amazing. And really, when you get it, it's like, this is a freaking game. This is a game on many different levels. And the one thing that, we can trust is our inner guidance, our higher self, our connection to God, source, this intelligence, quantum intelligence, and nature. And so we need to keep the nature, right? That's the fight for nature. Like, don't let them take the nature away. Don't let them limit it. Don't let them destroy it. Like, that's all. Watch nature, and then you start to get a feel like, oh yeah, you know, all the birds aren't the same. All the animals aren't the same. They don't all do the same. They help each other in different ways. It's all they complement each other. So, and people have been trying to play with Mother Nature, and that's creating a lot of trouble. That's creating a lot of this flooding and different things that are happening, like earthquakes in places that don't normally have it, or yeah, hurricanes and stuff, that creating, you know, making weather harder. So again, I know some of these things are hard, or you already know, and you can be much more advanced than me. And maybe you just want to know there's somebody else out there that's, you're not alone. And there is a lot of us out here who are working to hold the space and create and support people through this process. And I want you to know I love you. You are not alone. When you go in and you work with your inner child and your higher self and your connection to everything, you will feel safe. Feeling safe is really important about moving on. And let that inner guidance, if their inner guidance is saying, I've got to quit this job or it's going to kill me, quit it, because it will kill you otherwise. And if you, it's like, oh, I've got to move home with my parents, or I've got to, you know, get, you know, change up some things. I want to move to the country, or, you know, or move to a different country, right? All sorts of different things. Start gardening, growing food, joining a community. All right, so I hope that wasn't crazy making for you. I hope it added to your peace of mind in some ways. Feel free to ask me questions, to send me messages under this video, or to coachmarilyn1@gmail. I love you. Until we meet again, love, live, matter. Take care. Bye.